Hi everyone, today I'm doing some stock market advice from my point of view. As always, this is just my opinion and you can kind of obviously have your own opinion, and you might have a different view, which is totally fine, but this is kind of just where I believe is the best time to when to sell a stock. So I'm going to talk about prices, lows and highs. Apart from this, what I'm about to talk about, another time, there's two other ways I'd probably sell a stock. So the first one is that another stock has come available and there's not been much growth in this stock, or I just believe the stock that's come available is a better stock than the currently one that I own. So if that's happened, then I could potentially sell the shares in that stock and then go buy another stock. So I see a better buying opportunity. And number two is that some negative news comes out about the stock, which will be affecting the stock. So let's just, I'm going to take a recent example. So I'm going to take two actually. So I'm going to say number one being PayPal. So eBay split from PayPal. PayPal stock dips 8%. I might think, oh, eBay is such a really important partner to PayPal, and that's going to affect them, so I'm going to sell them stock. I don't, just for the record, I don't believe that. I'm a shareholder in PayPal. I think they'll be fine about eBay. And number four being, let's take Wynn Resorts. So Wynn Resorts got to an all-time high, and even with a good earnings report, and then we had a correction, and we also have allegations about Steve Wynn and the stock dipping down, and the board didn't really deal with the problem correctly. It took them like 2 or 3 weeks to say to Steve Wynn, oh, you can't be the CEO of this company anymore for obvious reasons. It took them like 2 or 3 weeks to do that. Like, that should have taken 2 days, which is kind of like bad leadership in that stock. So that's another reason that you might think, oh, I'm not staying in this stock anymore. We'll talk about the loss first. A few people will tell you that obviously I'm a long-term holder, but let's look back at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett used to hold stock for years. Personally, I don't think you can hold stocks now for years. And also another thing is that I believe, I've always said that, and this is something that I've learned from being a stock investor for a while now, is that you actually don't have the profit in the stock until you actually sell the stock. So it's good saying like, oh, you're up so and so %, but let's say there's a stock market crash, you could lose half of your profit through the year, and you're like, oh, why didn't I sell out? Why didn't I take my profit at double the price that what I could have had it? So I always believe that you should sell at a time and have a target, and when it hits that target you sell, and then you know you made that profit. Yeah, it might go higher. There's always opportunities to go back into that stock. It's always going to have corrections, so if you think, I missed out a little bit there, there's always times where you can go back into that stock if you feel like you made a bad mistake. So I would always say set a target and then you can take your profits. And also if a stock goes down, you can take losses, and then you don't take any more loss than that. Now there's a YouTuber that I'm not going to name that I watch quite often. The YouTuber that I watch quite often says that don't have stop losses, and also if a stock goes down and you really like that stock, just keep buying more shares, which I can kind of see the reason behind it, because you do believe that's going to go up. But a while back he made a call on his channel where a stock just carried on going down, and he was down like 40% on this stock. And because he invested so much more money, he was down a good 5 figures, nearly 6 figures on this stock. So I believe that you could always sell out of that stock, and then if it does start showing the signs of recovery, then you can get back in, and you protect you back from these 40% losses, which is really important. So I always say that a good percentage to be taken as a loss is 10%. If it's going below 10%, that stock's going down quite a bit. We've gone from a correction territory, and you could be pushing into crash territory. So a 10% loss is something that I would never go past on a stock. If it goes down 10% when I'm investing in it, then I'm going to sell that stock. I'm going to wait and see what happens with that stock. And there's other opportunities for other stocks to be getting into. And if it just, if I do get confidence back in that stock, then I can always go back into it. Even though it's I've lost a bit of money, you're losing what, 5%, not 40%, so you're a little bit more on the safe side. But let's talk to the profit. So profit, I generally look at about a 10 to 20% profit on a stock, depending on where I'm at with it. It depends if it's a long-term hold. So I kind of have a plan to hold that for a year or longer. Currently, like stocks like Microsoft and Adobe, that's where I'm at with them. So they're going to probably be around the 20% profit. Other stocks that are around about the 10% profit are kind of stocks that I've seen an opportunity to get into, and I'm going to buy, hold it, take a profit, and then go, which is a little bit of a less hold than what I would normally do with Microsoft. So let's say, for example, Netflix. I'm a big fan of Netflix as a stock. A little bit high PE, but it's always going to be going up at the moment, especially after their earnings. So I kind of saw an opportunity to get into Netflix, and I held that for about a bit of a lower profit, but I got to that point and then I sold out. So I always set a profit target around 10 to 20%. Obviously, you can hold it a little bit longer if you want, that's your choice. But I just know from previous experience, you get to these profit and then you never take the profit, it goes down again, you're like, why didn't I take that profit? And then you've got to wait a while for it to get back up to that price, which is kind of like a long-term hold, but there's chances that you take your money, go elsewhere, and then when that opportunity comes back again, you're able to get back into that stock. So that's kind of where I believe a 10 to 20% profit is a good place to be taking your money and going elsewhere. So that's kind of where I sell a stock, guys. Obviously, it's down to your opinion. So you might be saying, oh, I hold a stock forever, or just continually add on dips and hold it for years. Some people do that, but personally, that's where I'm at. As quite a young trader, as a stock market trader, like, I think that I'm able to do a lot of work in the companies, decide where I go in and out, and take my profits and then go elsewhere, and have more of the capital to be invested into the stocks, which we all want. So guys, give it a like and I'll see you on the next video.